All right, so now if you decide to use Loopcloud with your digital audio workstation, this is how you set it up. Now, one thing that I want to mention before we start is that it is free, as well as ADSR Sample Manager. And Loopcloud, now what they're doing, they're trying to do the same thing that Splice is doing, splice.com, with sample packs and stuff, to where you have to log in and then you have a credit card on file. So Loopcloud, they want you to create a free account, and then they want a credit card or PayPal information, and then they give you a 30-day free trial. And then after that 30 days, or you can cancel it right away, then you have the ability to use Loopcloud for free. And that's what I'm doing. And the features are really, really good, to where I would have paid for this. I would have paid $150 for this, maybe even $200 for this, just because it's that good. So I recommend using Loopcloud, even over ADSR Sample Manager. Both are free. I believe you don't have to have your payment information in to get Sample Manager. I'm not exactly sure, because I got both of these programs when they first came out, so they've changed some things. But I recommend getting Loopcloud. So get Loopcloud, hook up your PayPal, and then right away cancel the trial, and then you have your account. So once you open up Loopcloud, you'll see that it requires you to have to be signed in, right? So I'm signed in. There's an account page here. There's a preferences page for you to select your audio interface. So right here, if you go to audio, you can see I'm using this Telestream software, so that's why you see this. But typically I'd be using my Universal Audio Thunderbolt, so I'd click that. Or if I don't have anything, I'd use my MacBook Pro speakers. But that's where you would do that. When you first load up Loopcloud, you're going to see the store. So let's go to home. So you're going to see this. This is their store, and it always changes. This is synced with their website. You can browse around in here, and then you can actually use these as well in your, you can import it directly into your library. But what I usually do is just go straight to your library up here, and then now I have my custom library, not their store. And then here is where you can import your stuff, your samples. So you can click on add samples, click this, and then navigate to your sample folder. You can, I believe you can also drag and drop stuff on here. Now, as soon as you start doing it, you're going to see a indicator letting you know that it's analyzing the audio samples. And that's what's super sick about this program, is they'll analyze everything and start tagging all your samples. And then when you decide to search in here or look for stuff in these subgroups here, like let's say you want MIDI files, or let's say you want a genre, like you want hip hop or whatever, you can pull it up and it'll only show you that. It'll filter down. You can pick the keys. This is pretty sweet too. So if you just do like 130 to 145 or 160, it can just narrow those samples down. I typically use, sometimes I use a genre, but I use instruments. And I think this is what you'd be using the most if you decide to filter stuff down. But anyway, that's a cool feature. We don't even need to use that. All we're doing is opening up our products here, Ultimate Trap Drums. And it's cool because it lets you know what new stuff it scans in. So you can access all your one-shots. So this is the drum kit. You can access the drum kit and play everything from here. You can also see if I want to play. You click the play button. And you can actually make beats with this thing. You can program your beats. I don't really use that. You see right here, you've got different tracks and stuff. They only give you 2 tracks when you use the free version, and then they want you to subscribe for the others. I don't use this. If you're using a digital audio workstation, you don't really need it, but it's pretty cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the core of the product, which is the pattern-based loops. This is where we have everything: hi-hats, kicks, all that good stuff. So I'll hit play. Right, so everything works. But now we want to use this with Logic Pro. That's what I'm using. So, and the same is for FL Studio or any of those other programs. So I'll go ahead and load up Logic Pro. All right, so now we have Logic loaded up, and I've got a tutorial track here for us to add some drums to. First thing you do with Loopcloud is you create another track, and you're going to add the plugin. So once you install Loopcloud, there's a plugin, and there's also the standalone software. This is what the plugin looks like. All it is just a way for the sound to enter your DAW, and also for it to tell the Loopmasters program what tempo you're in, so that way it can sync. Now we're gonna listen to what we have, and then we're gonna just start putting some drums to it, and I'll show you how simple it is. Let's go ahead and pick a kick snare pattern. As you notice, it's in sync, and it plays where it thinks it should play. So it doesn't just start from the beginning. It starts where it thinks it should start, based off your DAW, which is something I really like. Let's use that one. So now that we have one selected, we want to drag that over. So we're going to hover over processed and click and drag this over. And I'll add it in there. That way it's stretching it to the tempo, and it's giving it to us just the way it sounds in here. If you want the original, you can drag that, but then it'll be off tempo because they think the original's 137 and we're at 135. So now we can play that back. And the cool thing about it is, because I dragged it over, it knows not to play that same sound back. Nice. So let's go ahead and continue with the track. See if we can stack some snares on top. I like that. Let's go to the hi-hats. Say I take that. And that's it. The cool thing about this is you can see the audio files are in here. I don't have to do anything else. And if I want to change something up, I can just cut it. All right, so I can choose to pick a point here, and I'm holding the option button down, and it'll slice it all up. And then I can move these around. So let's say I like that hi-hat. That came from right here. There we go. So we can chop these up too. Put them in there. All right, so if I wanted to move that, let's say right here. Let's say I didn't want this one, I want to just copy this here. It's that easy. So that's pretty much all you need to know as far as the basics with Loopmasters. Now if you want to manipulate even more, which I do quite often, let's say, let me get rid of these hi-hats. So let's go back here. We can change the pitch right here. Lower the pitch. That's nice. Go lower. So let's go ahead and grab that. Same thing with the sounds here. And if you notice, this is already pitched down -7. It keeps it there, and you can move it back if you need to, which is kind of cool. Originally, it plays like right here. rock with that. There you go, and that's it. And like I said, you can do some of this with ADSR Sample Manager, but I recommend using Loopcloud because they have some cool features here. You can even chop stuff up here and move things around here instead of doing it in here. Me personally, I like to do it in my DAW just because you have more control. And then it's final. It's there. I can keep it here. I can glue this if I want to, you know. So it's perfect, and I love working with waves like this. There's just something that's it's just satisfying working with them. But either way, give Loopcloud a try. Put in your PayPal information in there, and then just cancel it right away if you want. That way you don't forget, and you can use it forever. And load up your library in here, and you know it'll analyze your library, and you'll be able to find a harp or electric guitar or whatever you want. And yeah, and keep your library real simple. That's what I would suggest. So I've got, you know, all my stuff. I know where everything is. Every time I make a trap beat, I just open this up now and work right here.